These 6 isometric exercises will transform your lower body. What if I told you it's completely possible to achieve incredible results for your legs without moving? It's true. Most people believe that to have strong and defined legs they need to do squats until they can barely walk, but the reality isn't quite like that. Today you'll see 6 isometric exercises focused on the lower body that, when done with proper technique and consistency, can completely transform the lower part of your body regardless of your current age. Before we begin, please leave in the comments your name and the city from where you're watching our content. Isometric Exercise 6, Horse Stance. Have you seen those statues of samurai warriors or martial arts practitioners in combat position? That position with legs spread and semi-flexed is exactly what we're talking about here. The horse stance is one of the oldest and most effective isometric exercises for developing strength and endurance in the legs, especially in the quadriceps and adductors. The great benefit of this exercise lies in the simultaneous recruitment of multiple muscle groups. While your quadriceps work intensely to maintain the semi-flexed position, your adductors are activated to stabilize the spread of your legs, and the glutes come into action to keep the hips aligned. It's practically a complete exercise for the lower body. To execute it correctly, start standing with your feet apart a bit beyond shoulder width. Now rotate your feet slightly outward about 30 degrees. Keep your spine straight and your gaze forward. Begin to descend slowly as if you were sitting in an imaginary chair until your thighs are parallel to the floor or form approximately a 90 degrees angle at the knees. Here's the secret: keep your knees aligned with your toes, never letting them collapse inward. Your arms can be extended in front to help with balance, or you can place them in the traditional martial arts position with elbows flexed and close to the body. A common mistake people make is projecting the knees too far forward past the toes, which can cause unnecessary stress on the ligaments. Another error is not descending enough, staying in a position that's too high and doesn't generate adequate tension in the target muscles. It's also fundamental not to curve your back. Keep your core activated at all times to protect your lower spine. For beginners, start with 3 sets of 20 to 30 seconds in position, resting 60 seconds between them. As you progress, gradually increase to 45 seconds, then 60 seconds, and eventually up to 2 minutes per set. You can do this 3 to 4 times per week. And before I forget, if you feel muscle tremors during the exercise, know that this is completely normal and even desirable. It indicates that your muscle fibers are being challenged to the maximum, which is exactly what we want. Exercise 5, Static Lunge. The second exercise on our list is the static lunge, a movement that will make your quadriceps beg for mercy while intensely working your glutes and hamstrings. This is an extraordinary exercise for developing unilateral strength, correcting imbalances between legs, and significantly improving your stability. The great differential of this exercise is in the unequal weight distribution between legs, which intensifies the work in the front leg. Additionally, it recruits stabilizing muscles that normally aren't as demanded in bilateral exercises like the traditional squat. This results in a more harmonious and functional development of your legs. To execute it correctly, start standing with your feet at hip width. Step forward with one of your legs, creating a comfortable distance, neither too short nor exaggeratedly long. Slowly descend until both knees form an angle of approximately 90 degrees. The front knee should be aligned with the ankle, never surpassing the line of the toes. The back knee should be close to but not touching the ground, with the heel elevated. Keep your trunk erect, core activated, and gaze forward. Your arms can remain at your sides or on your waist to help with balance. Among the most common errors is excessively leaning the trunk forward, which transfers tension from the quadriceps to the lumbar region. Another frequent error is not descending enough, not forming the ideal 90 degrees angle, which drastically reduces the benefits of the exercise. It's also very common to see people with the front knee misaligned, collapsing inward, which can lead to injuries in the long term. For this exercise, I recommend 3 sets of 30 seconds for each leg with 60 seconds of rest between changes. As your resistance increases, you can progress to 45, 60, and eventually 90 seconds per leg. And don't forget to work both sides equally to avoid muscle imbalances. An interesting variation to increase intensity even more is to raise your arms above your head while maintaining the position. This elevates your center of gravity, making the exercise more challenging for your stabilizing muscles. Exercise 4. Static Glute Bridge. If you're looking for that rounded and defined shape in the glutes that we all admire, you can't leave out the static glute bridge in your routine. This isometric exercise is simply fantastic for isolating and deeply working the entire gluteal musculature while secondarily involving the hamstrings and lumbar region. The great benefit of this movement is the precise activation of the gluteus maximus, medius, and minimus, which not only contributes to aesthetics but also significantly improves your posture and reduces problems like lower back pain. Many people today suffer from the so-called sleeping glute syndrome due to excessive sitting time, and this exercise is the perfect remedy for that. To correctly perform the static glute bridge, lie on your back on a mat or comfortable surface. Bend your knees and position your feet on the floor at hip width, at a distance from your buttocks that allows forming an approximately 90 degrees angle at the knees. Keep your arms extended at your sides with palms facing down. Now press your heels against the floor and raise your hips until forming a straight line from your knees to your shoulders. The key here is to strongly contract the glutes at the top of the movement and maintain that contraction during the entire time of the isometry. A very common error is not raising the hip enough, staying in an intermediate position that doesn't generate adequate tension in the glutes. Another frequent error is excessively using the lumbar region to maintain the position, which can cause back pain. To avoid this, focus on actively squeezing the glutes throughout the entire exercise. For this exercise, I recommend starting with 3 sets of 30 to 45 seconds in the elevated position with 60 seconds of rest between them. As your resistance improves, progressively increase to sets of 60 to 90 seconds. To intensify the work even more, you can raise one of your legs extended while maintaining the hip elevated only with the strength of the other leg. This practically doubles the intensity for the side that's supporting the weight. In this case, reduce the time to 15 to 20 seconds per side initially. Remember to breathe normally throughout the exercise. Many people unconsciously hold their breath during isometrics, which can unnecessarily elevate blood pressure. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth in a controlled manner. Before we continue to the third exercise, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Having constant access to correct and science-based information is what will help you continuously improve your body without risk of injuries. Exercise 3, Single Leg Drop Squat Hold. Now we move to an exercise that will test not just your strength but also your balance and coordination. The single leg drop squat hold is a more advanced isometric variation that intensely works the quadriceps, glutes, and stabilizing muscles of the core and ankle in a way that few exercises can. The standout feature of this movement is the unilateral work combined with the drop position, which creates exceptional tension throughout the posterior chain, especially in the glute of the supporting leg. This exercise is particularly effective for correcting imbalances between the left and right sides of the body, in addition to drastically improving your body awareness. To execute it correctly, start standing on one leg with the other leg slightly flexed and raised off the floor. Keep your hands on your waist or extended in front of you to help with balance. Lean your trunk forward while extending the free leg backward, creating a straight line from heel to head, as if you were in an airplane position. Descend until the thigh of the supporting leg is parallel to the floor, or as close to that as you can manage, and maintain that position. The weight should be distributed evenly through the supporting foot. One of the most common errors in this exercise is letting the knee of the supporting leg collapse inward, which can lead to injuries. Always keep the knee aligned with the second toe. Another frequent error is rounding the back during the movement, which transfers tension from the target muscles to the lumbar region. Keep the spine in a neutral position throughout the exercise. It's also common to see people unable to find adequate balance, which prevents maintaining the position for the necessary amount of time. For beginners, I recommend starting with 3 sets of 15 to 20 seconds on each leg, with 30 seconds of rest between changes. As your stability and strength improve, gradually progress to sets of 30 and eventually 45 seconds per leg. Don't try to progress too quickly in this exercise. Stability development takes time. If you're having difficulties at the beginning, you can lightly use the support of a wall or chair to assist with balance, gradually reducing this support as you progress. Another effective strategy is to focus your gaze on a fixed point in front of you, which significantly helps in maintaining balance. This exercise may seem challenging at first, but believe me, the results are incomparable, especially in the lateral definition of the thighs and in glute development. The feeling of achievement when you master this movement is also extremely gratifying. Exercise 2, Isometric Calf Raise. We can't talk about complete leg transformation without giving due attention to the calves, a part so often neglected by many fitness practitioners. Well-developed calves not only complete the aesthetics of the legs, giving them a proportional and athletic look, but also significantly improve performance in activities like running, jumping, and even posture in daily life. It's no wonder calves are sometimes called the heart of the legs, due to their role in helping pump blood. The isometric calf raise intensely targets the gastrocnemius and soleus muscles, which are responsible for the shape and power of this region. What sets the isometric version apart is the prolonged tension it creates, deeply challenging the muscle fibers and providing an efficient stimulus for hypertrophy and toning. To perform this exercise correctly, position yourself standing, preferably near a wall or chair, for light support using only your fingertips to help with balance. Keep your feet parallel and at hip width, with your weight evenly distributed. Now raise yourself onto the balls of your feet as high as you can, strongly contracting the calves. Here's the crucial part: instead of immediately lowering down like in a traditional calf raise, stay elevated and sustain the isometric contraction for the prescribed duration. Common mistakes include not lifting the heels high enough, which drastically reduces the effectiveness of the movement. Another frequent issue is shifting weight to just the inner or outer forefoot instead of keeping balanced pressure across all toes. This can not only reduce the efficiency of the exercise but also cause alignment issues in the ankle. Because the calf muscles are naturally more resistant to fatigue, start with 4 sets of 30 to 45 seconds in the elevated position, resting 30 seconds between sets. As your endurance improves, progress to sets of 60 to 90 seconds. A great way to ensure complete and harmonious development is to alternate between sets with parallel feet, which emphasize the lateral gastrocnemius, and sets with toes slightly pointed outward to better target the medial gastrocnemius. To intensify the exercise even more, you can perform it using just one leg at a time, which doubles the intensity. In this variation, start with shorter holds of 15 to 20 seconds per leg. Another advanced option is to place the balls of your feet on a step or elevated surface, which increases the range of motion and, consequently, the overall tension in the calves. Exercise 1, Wall Sit. We've reached the last exercise in our series, and I can guarantee that I've saved one of the most effective for the end. The wall sit, also known as the invisible chair, is a classic isometric exercise that primarily targets the quadriceps, but also intensely engages the glutes, adductors, and core. One of its greatest benefits is the intensity with which it recruits the quadriceps muscle fibers, without impact on the joints, making it safe even for people with a history of knee problems. Additionally, the specific position of the movement allows for sustained contraction that few other exercises can provide. To execute it correctly, lean your back against a smooth wall with your feet parallel, spread at hip width, and approximately 12 to 24 inches away from the wall. Slowly slide down, keeping your back fully supported against the wall, until your thighs are parallel to the floor, forming a 90 degrees angle at the knees. The knees should be aligned with the ankles and never surpass the line of the toes. Keep your arms relaxed at your sides, crossed over your chest, or extended in front to increase the challenge. A common error in this exercise is not descending enough, staying in a position that's too high and doesn't generate adequate tension in the quadriceps. On the other hand, descending too much, making the knee angle less than 90 degrees, can overload the joint. Another frequent error is supporting only the shoulder blades against the wall while arching the lower back. This not only reduces the effectiveness of the exercise but can also cause discomfort in the back. Keep your entire spine in contact with the wall. For beginners, I recommend starting with 3 sets of 30 seconds in position, with 45 seconds of rest between them. As your resistance increases, progress to sets of 45 seconds, 60 seconds, and eventually up to 2 minutes per set. This is one of the isometric exercises where you can really advance to longer times as you adapt. To intensify the challenge, you can add weight to the exercise, holding a book, a water bottle, or even a kettlebell in your lap. Another effective variation is the single leg wall sit, where you raise one leg while maintaining the position with the other. This variation is extremely challenging, so start with shorter sets of 15 to 20 seconds per leg. An important tip: it's normal to feel an intense burning in the quadriceps during this exercise. When discomfort increases, focus on deep and controlled breathing to help overcome the most difficult moments. Inhale through the nose for 4 seconds and exhale through the mouth for 4 seconds. This technique not only helps you endure the discomfort but also improves muscle oxygenation. Besides being extremely efficient, the main beauty of this exercise is that you can perform it absolutely anywhere, at home, at work, or even while traveling. There are no excuses for not following through with the plan. Don't forget to take before photos to compare with your final results. This is a great way to track your progress and keep motivation high. If you liked this and also want to discover other isometric positions that target the upper body, we've left a video showing the best ones, now appearing on screen. Thank you for watching, and God bless you, my friend.